Afternoon, everybody. Have you been enjoying MIPCOM? Yeah, it's always great here. Except for the rain we had on Monday. It was amazing. I don't know how many people were here, but that was scary. Okay, I think we're going to start. We have a long afternoon ahead of us, but hopefully it will be fun. Before I start doing anything, I just want to know how many of you are planning to be with us for the whole duration of this afternoon? Okay, good. All right, thanks. That's perfect. Because I think that if you are curious about what it will take to publish apps, what's the importance of apps, what the future will show, and what do these, especially these new iPad apps look like, hopefully we'll satisfy your questions. And if we don't, you can tell us. Hopefully. It will be a long session. It will be fast-moving. We will try to leave some Q&A at the end of, maybe not the showcase session, but at the end of the case study session. So please bear with us. Hopefully we'll make it lively. I want to start by telling you a personal story. This actually is a very special occasion for me to be showing the iPad showcase, because this will reveal my age, but I used to work for Apple Computer between 1983 to 1994. When multimedia was first starting at Apple, I was there, one of the original multimedia people. So I've seen a huge evolution of multimedia, rich media, convergence, mobile, internet, CD-ROM, every which way. I've seen it, but I really am excited about iPad now because, and I've been coming to MIPCOM and MIPTV and doing events here for the last 10 years. There was a Milia show before, which was bringing the ecosystem of all the CD-ROM publishers together, making deals. And since internet came, content business models kind of went away. Well, now it's coming back, and with the smartphones and tablets, it's coming back even more. So it's really exciting to now relook at the content business one more time. And the other thing that's special about Apple is that in 1987, I was going to show you that video, but if you go YouTube, Knowledge Navigator, you can, it's a 5-minute video, so it takes too long, but Apple released a vision video in 1987, which was called Knowledge Navigator. It was about it's about a tablet. The guy comes in, opens the tablet. He has an intelligent personal assistant on the left-hand corner. It tells him what the meetings he has today. And then he collaborates with a colleague from Brazil about the rainforest. He does the touch screen drawing graphs, and then he does. So all of these things, and I'm saying, my goodness, it's like it took 23 years, but we're not there. Because it was all the vision of touch interface, Google Maps, Skype video, all the online collaboration, Wikipedia, everything was shown there. So I really recommend you look at that. It takes 5 minutes here, so I don't want to bore you with that, but it's fun to look at that. So, and then after that, it was Newton, which was the first handheld intelligent assistant, which sort of like went downhill because it was too heavy, it didn't have the battery, but the first titles, the first apps came on Newton, and I was publishing some Newton titles at Apple at the time. And I know what it took to do those, and now it's a similar process to do the iPad titles. And then after that, there was Palm handhelds, and then RIM came and killed Palm, and then now iPhone came and is about to kill Nokia, but not everywhere. Our friend from Ovi will correct me on that, but Nokia is definitely going big in Asia and in everywhere. But in terms of the whole landscape keeps changing over and over again every time somebody introduces something, especially Apple. So the last big thing is, of course, iPhone changed mobile video, mobile apps. iPhone brought the apps business. Now iPad is going to bring the whole overall rich media tablets business. So therefore, we thought, OK, and it's not just the iPad either. It's also 50 more tablets coming on the market. So that's definitely going to revolutionize the content business. There's going to be money to be made because we're already seeing app publishers making money. But the ecosystem is complicated. So we decided to do, and I thank Reed Midan for giving me the opportunity to program this afternoon. It's a pleasure to have you here. So this afternoon, we're going to talk about all the things that this whole new publishing market might require. To start, so I just talked about the fact that tablets and rich media apps are, now rich media apps are still small, and tablets are still very, very small. The big mobile market is like there's 4 billion mobile phones, 4 billion plus mobile phones. There's only 250 million smartphones, and there's only 2 million iPads. But it's going to grow. It's going to be huge. And I feel like finally the convergence is here. Now, every single new tablet, for example, iPad is not just a bigger iPhone. It's a new medium. Now, we have a debate here, even among my colleagues here, which I will introduce very soon. How many people think that iPad is just a bigger iPhone? Okay, well, I'm gonna debate with you that point, because I believe that iPad is, yes, it could be only it could be a bigger iPhone, but it's not just the bigger iPhone. It's a whole new publishing and entertainment medium. And I hope that the showcase we'll do today will show you that. Now, of course, there's new relationships. You know, before, the ecosystem was everybody, you know, had their own ecosystem, right? So mobile publishers gone through mobile operators, and later on some other over-the-top distribution channels. And then publishers, book publishers went with authors, and then marketed them internationally to their network in Frankfurt Book Fair. And then television people came here and sold. They worked with producers, and then they came to MIPCOM and MIPTV and sold rights. And then CD-ROM publishers used to come to a show called Milia, where you used to make deals. So now, all of a sudden, with app stores and with tablets and smartphones, broadcasters are publishing apps, book publishers are publishing apps, web publishers are publishing apps, independent producers are publishing apps. Everyone is a publisher, and everyone is going through an app store. So the whole landscape is democratized, and everyone has to talk to each other, because I might have the rights to publish a book from Penguin in France, but Jan Topping from Channel 4 might have the rights to broadcast it in London. And so if now all of a sudden Jan wants to do an app on a Penguin book, she needs to go back to the author and the Penguin to work with them to clear the rights. So there's a complication, but it's an opportunity as well. And new content models are emerging too. So in today's program, we will do four things, First, we will focus on iPad. Next time, we will also do smartphones and iPads. But today, we're only going to focus on iPad, because that's the first thing. And we're going to focus on not just iPhone apps, but rich media apps. Okay? And some new categories are emerging, so that'll be interesting to check it out. Then, we're going to have four case studies. And in these 4 case studies, we will look at it from a broadcaster-publisher point of view. We will look at it from a licensing point of view. What kind of deals do you make? We will look at it from a development point of view. What are some of the complications? What things you should be keeping in mind in choosing which platform to publish for? Should you publish for all the platforms, or should you just choose iPad or Android or whatever? So those are the questions. And then the third is a super panel, which will hopefully summarize, is there money to be made? And then fourth is a networking event upstairs on the 5th floor, so you can meet each other, okay? It's the first effort to kind of start talking about this stuff, because it's a big new market out there. So I think that what I will do is, I will change that, just leave me alone. No? Hold on a second. Okay, so I think that I've talked about that. The one last thing that I want to say is that you don't have to be a major publisher to publish an app. If you're a creative person, you can just go to the App Store and make a deal with Apple and publish an app. Today, I will show things from independent producers, as well as well-known publishers, as well as well-known broadcasters. And again, we said the playing field is level right now. It's democratized. Of course, you have to market. Of course, you have to have marketing power. You have to have money. You have to have co-productions. So it's not like it's free, but at least you have a chance. So that's something that's really good news, actually, I feel. All right, having said this, let's go to the, let me change these until I sit down, and then you can change for me, okay? Sorry. Charlotte here and I are crossing signals. So what I'd like to do is, before I start showing these things, I would like to tell you what we're going to do. I'd like to now introduce the expert panel that I've gathered here together, and they've been nice to come and join me. So starting from here, Dan Efergan, Creative Director of Aardman Digital, Aardman Animation from UK. Last one on the list, Jan Tupping, next to Dan. But you can tell because she's the only lady we have in the New Media Commissioning Manager from Channel 4. And then second one on the list, Pasha Mustafa, Global Head of Original Digital Productions, Endemol Group. And last but not least, Patrice Slupowski, VP of Digital Innovation, Orange. Now, their role. So it's going to be boring because, we had to kind of, and Stefan here, very valuable member of our panel team, because he and I have been a couple. So I've been showing this thing, and he's been putting the video over my shoulder. So we decided that I'm going to be showing all these things. It's going to be, I hope I won't be too boring for you. They are very interesting, but I'll be showing these things, and then they'll be commenting, and we'll be chatting about them. So I grouped the projects in general fun, ebooks, and then news apps, and aggregators, some lifestyle things and travel things. That's more on the iPhone, but still. Casual games, big category, hobby, TV show apps, and then some other cool stuff if we have time. But what I've been seeing is I've been doing a lot of research. I've been asking my old friends at Apple and my industry friends to tell me what they think are the coolest apps, and they gave me some ideas, and that's what I gathered here. I had 30, so I had to cut it down to 20. I might have to cut it down to 15 if it takes too long. But what I'm seeing most is that a lot of people came out with news titles, and then kids titles, and then now it's enlarging. Now, would you say that, guys, we have 3 minutes, so let's just take your opinions before I start showing. What do you think are what are you seeing in originally initial trends with iPad publishing and specifically focus on iPad publishing right now, tablet publishing? Daniel, yes. Just quick comments, okay?
Yeah,
very quickly.
I think what's been most interesting is now that the traditional publishing industry is starting to get involved and is starting to learn and integrate. And some of the most exciting things are happening between that right now, traditional publishing and the interactivity that comes with the iPad.
The bits that I'm most interested in are things that look at two-screen experiences, where something like 2/3 of audiences, when they're watching TV, this is a stat from the UK and also from the US, 2/3 of audiences are now watching with another device, either a smartphone, an iPad, or a laptop while watching television. So anything that takes advantage of that enhances the viewing experience and gets people to talk about their shows is something I'm interested in.
Great.
I think it's still... Yeah, it's still early days, I guess, for the iPad. I think there's, the killer apps aren't really out yet, Flipboard, and I think you're going to show a few things which get close to that. But yeah, co-viewing is really big, and I think the iPad sort of changes the environment in which you use it in, and that's what's quite interesting. So it brings
co-viewing, and sometimes together with your iPhone, or co-viewing with people.
Yeah, and how it connects to other devices as well. I think
but also using your iPhone, because this iPad doesn't have a camera. So let's get the iPad screen. I want you guys to tell me.
Maybe I just want
Oh, sorry, I forgot you. Sorry. Ooh, no. Democratic,
my voice.
Yes.
Hi. So I think that what is interesting is that some dedicated apps are starting to appear for the iPad. I mean, not things which have been translated for the iPad. And so this is typically what I'm tracking, things that are bringing it as a new screen which has no relation to others.
Right,
also.
so things that are coming originally, it's not just so 1 point already for, it's not just a bigger iPhone point, right?
Yeah.
It's original medium of its own.
At least one.
And it will be like that. It is a very rich, what we try to do here is show you a variety of things. It has a fabulous screen. Okay, let me just show you the screen, okay? So I'm going to be really careful not to put my hand all over this thing. All right. Just gorgeous. And then I can just, this is like a screensaver. It's just really pretty. And then they already made me buy a new one so I can fish with it. I can kill the fish. I keep getting this thing. I don't know why, but it tells me. But it's not actually. It doesn't have to be. No, confirm in your. It's not as obnoxious. I don't know why I'm having this, but so yeah. So I played with this with a 3-year-old all summer, and she just loved it. But the thing is, she wanted to go and feed the fish. She wanted to go to the store and buy some food for the fish and feed it to the fish, and the developer didn't do that. So I have a recommendation to John Moffat for an in-app. Okay, as we go along these things, we will also point out some of the business models, right? So here's an in-app purchase opportunity that he has missed, because I wanted to buy some feed for the fish and feed it to the fish. Instead, I actually, because I was curious, I went and ordered the other one. I fish pound, and it was like fishing for the fish, and I didn't like that. I didn't want to kill that fish.
You can feed the fish with the dragonflies. Pull the thing out.
Oh, thank you. Tell me. There you go.
Yeah, put the dragonflies. Then you
Okay.
they feed the fish.
Say that again. Tell me what I do.
You drag the dragon.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you. Wow. Okay. I take that back. I don't want to be a wise. Anyway, I'm not too good at this thing, as you can see. Right.
In fact,
Okay.
In fact,
And I love it like this. I love it. Please correct me, okay? Please, because this should be a fun thing. I'm not perfect at this, all right? So let's go on to the next one. Do you have it? Did you?
Yeah, in fact, I think I was raising the feeds as a VG, but this is
VG?
why. Yeah, a vegetarian. But,
Ah.
this is why I didn't.
Oh, vegetarian.
Am I supposed to say only interesting and clever things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope
My favorite.
okay, so this is a Talking Tom. Talking Tom for iPad is a Talking Hippo for iPad and Talking Harry for iPad. I'm just going to show you the cat quickly. So, look, my cat. I have a cat. Look. Ooh. Okay, but if I do this, he doesn't like that. And if I pull his tail, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. Hello. Hello. Meow. We did that too all summer with the
Ferhan, you're
3-year-old.
looking so great.
Ferhan, you're looking so great.
There you go. Thank you. Okay, do you want to drink some milk? Oh, wonderful.
May I?
Yes. Oh, I don't want you to do that to my cat. Now, he's
Sorry.
going to be mad at you.
No, it's kind.
Yes, he's going to be mad at you.
Oh.
And if you like it so much, you can go to the App Store and buy 4 extra animations and no ads in Talking Tom. So you can go to the App Store. Now I'm going to spend some money because you just, do you want to buy Talking Tom cat upgrade? So I'm just going to go to the App Store. I'm going to, now in my iPad, I already put, hold on. Yeah.
I'm just hiding your
no,
password.
No, it's okay, it's
Yeah.
okay. They won't see anything.
Just
Okay.
imagine you have fingers that are 2 meters long. And
So my purchase was successful. Let's see what kind of extra animations do I get. Now, I don't know how to use this.
The
This is the
little
first time
birds.
I'm using it.
yeah.
Aha! Ooh, look at that. And this one? Anyway, so that was £1.19 I just spent. Or whatever, on your behalf. Hello, goodbye. We'll talk to you later. I got more to do here. Okay, so these are just general fun things, but then there's ebooks for and creativity for kids. So there's a lot of ebooks we found. So I'm just chosen 4 for you, okay? And 1 creativity and 3 ebooks. First, I just love this one. It's so simple. Look how beautiful. Can I have the sound, please?
La luna es un ojo grande que me mira por la noche para que no me pase nada.
I love the music.
This is not intended
If
to
you have a
make you sleep.
2-year-old, you can put him to sleep like this.
La luna es un sitio donde los astronautas van a pasar la tarde.
This timing is dangerous for that kind of
Cuando la
music, you
luna
know that?
está llena, es
Yeah,
porque
I don't want you to
está
go to sleep yet.
Yeah.
algún planeta. Es porque se ha comido algún planeta.
So, especially in the car, I still would like to read a book in bed to my kid. But if I'm traveling in the back of a car, or if I'm on holiday on a beach or something, that's perfect. Next.
Do you take your iPad onto the beach?
Huh?
Do you take your iPad onto the beach?
I have done. I find that I use my iPad sort of as a lean back experience on the couch, doing Facebook mostly, sending emails and buying apps to show here. That's what I've been doing last month, buying apps. Right. This is another one. This is Hans Christian Andersen's stories, which is cute. Now, I just want to show you just a couple of things. This is very simple, actually. I like this happy family because it sort of makes some of the features of the... Can you see it very well? So, like, for example, if you just, like, you know, you could just touch these things and it starts walking in the screens and, ew, you know, you can do that. I mean, of course, some of the other books are more advanced than this because they read to you. But you can shake these things and it falls more, you know, it uses all the effects of the... So you can entertain a kid with these things. And I'm going to, ooh, that's kind of bad. I'm going to show you this one because I like this one again. Okay, next. Toy Story. Now, we're talking big time now, okay? So this is a big brand. And they've done a fairly good job, I think. Now, you guys will criticize, right? We won't be, you know, we'll be fair, but we'll say both the positives and the negatives, not to knock anybody down, but just to kind of give you an opinion what the experts think. So tell us, so this is Toy Story. What I like is, you'll see.
Andy was a young boy with a big imagination. He loved playing with all his toys, but his favorite was a cowboy doll named Sheriff Woody.
It has all the music and the sound and everything rich of the movie, so which is really nice. It sort of pulls you in as a Disney character, Disney property. Okay, everybody, coast is clear. Oh, I was actually, I was narrating this. So let's just go into that now, because I could, you know, in recording, I said use my recording, so I was recording my voice. So if I can record that, for example, and when no one was around, Andy's toy came to life. Okay, everybody, coast is clear. So I just done, and then let's see if it reads my voice. And when no one was around, Andy's toy came to life. Okay, everybody, coast is clear. So you can record. So if you're a mother or father, you can record the voice, or you can listen to it with the original voice. So they've allowed you to do that. Disney was nice about that, right? You know, I mean, they've allowed their property to be changed by us, which is very nice. And you can go through the pages and jump through the story, which is good. And then you can listen to beautiful Disney music. I won't even show you the Paint application because I'm not good at it. And you can sing along.
You got a friend in me.
I like this one.
You got a friend
And me.
when the
Right, okay. Don't let me get carried away, guys. Okay, so now I want the hard. Now I can play a game, okay? Now let's just stop this first of all. Hello, let's stop it. Okay. All right, now game. All right, now I like this game. Even though it's simple, it also uses, I use the hard version, but it goes faster. So you just have to basically tilt your screen. Am I doing it okay for the camera? All right, so the objective is to get down to the floor without hitting all these things. Just sailing through the wall here.
Doing great.
Shall I crash?
Raise your hands.
All right. I crashed. Anyway, it asked me, do I want to play again? I'll say no. And I look at it, I want more games, and hopefully Disney will put more games, you know, and then it'll be like, the application is free to download, but then, let me just stop this for a second here.
Suddenly, Ham the piggy bank called out.
This is a free app. No, actually, it's not a free app.
Yeah.
I paid for it.
Good value for a free app, yeah, for sure.
$5.49. I paid for it. Yeah, it's not a free app. And then you can also order. I am expecting that they will make you be able to order games inside it.
It's a very good one in terms of what is achievable, but I'm a little bit disappointed with they're not using really the touch thing into the iPad.
Yeah. And do you guys have a comment on that? I mean, is it a good first start?
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty enjoyable, isn't it? What do you guys think? Huh? Take a note on your favorites, because I'm going to have you yell out the most favorite apps in the end. Okay? Keep track of it and tell me what's your most favorite app. Okay, this is another good one. All right. So here we go. I'm making some cake. Yeah, I took too long with the children's properties. I know. So I put the cake. It gives me the recipe. Now it says press on the strawberries to mash. Now it takes a while to mash this thing. I'm not a very good cook, even on the iPad, as you can see. Okay, I hope this is done.
I hope you're not allergic.
Yeah, okay, done. All right, so let's crack some eggs. I mean, the kids love that. Tick, all right, and then, neat. Now we just do that. Okay, and then we do that. Now it wants me to do this thing. I mean, it's really great interactive creativity. It's not just a book. It's more than a book. It's, well, it's not a book at all. It's just a nice diversion for children. And it uses iPads. What do you guys think of this? While I'm showing, you can talk.
It's great. I think this sort of stuff is brilliant, and the interaction level is just great. I mean, for learning for kids and everything, it's amazing.
This was in the summer. This was top of the charts. Again, this was by I paid for it. So now we've mixed the thing up. So now, which shape do you want? Do you want the hearts? Shall I do the hearts? Well, okay. Let's do the hearts. So I just put them in the oven.
Take care, it's hot.
Thank you. Right. It's baking. Nope. The oven just said oven rang. No, here we are. So let's put some frosting on it. So I just put a frosting. And then I put another frosting. Maybe I leave the chocolate so we know that it's a chocolate cake. A little bit like that. So I put, fruits. Okay, shall we make it a wedding cake or a Halloween cake? Let's make it a Halloween cake maybe, I don't know. It's ugly as hell, but. And then decorations. So I put, okay, now you want to eat some? Let's eat some. And if you want to not eat it, you can undo, you can come back to it. If you want to save it, you can email it to your mom. Mom, I made a cake for you. Or you could save it as one of your creations. And you can do some other things with it too, but you got the point.
Audience, I think we should give congratulations to Ferhan. She's a great cook.
So far, so good.
What's interesting about that one is it's a completely time-wasting app. I mean, it's cute and all of that, but how many times are you really going to use it? But it only costs 59p. So it's the type of thing that I think people would buy, they play around with. It's not something you're going to use regularly.
Right.
And it is kind of missing the very important end of cooking, which is the taste and the eating of it. It's kind
of what do you want? Smell hasn't come. Apple hasn't even predicted that smell will come to tablets, so I think we're away from that. But hey, you never know. So next. Now I'm moving on to, this was ebooks and creativity for kids. I had another one, Cake Doodle, but I had another one, Doodle Buddy, but if I have time, I'll show you that at the end. Now, the next one is ebooks. Now, ebooks can be, I had a few ebooks as well, and unfortunately, due to time, I've just chosen these two really good ones that I like. Now, The Elements was featured in Apple's, let me just put it to home. This is a gorgeous, beautiful book that came to me through some conference that I go to. And then all of a sudden I found that the app is in the Apple Store, and it was featured. So because it was featured, and note, very important to be featured on the Apple Store, they sold 85,000 copies of that. So I'm just going to show you. You can click on all these elements. You can go back home. Now my favorite is the copper because it looks so gorgeous. So you can have the properties, like this. Oh, as you can see, I'm not really an expert on all of these things. But then you can go to the special area to see what's made of nickel, and you can turn these around. And this was when iPad came. It was at the announcement, so they got a lot of PR out of that. Go back to the home. Go back to the... now, there's something called a very interesting computational engine that got built into this called Wolfram Alpha, which is a scientific search engine. So when you click on the Wolfram Alpha, who's a shareholder with this company, apparently, it calculates all of the incredible technical things. I mean, you can go as deep as you want with this thing, or as shallow as you want. You can use it as a coffee table book, or you can go deep. If you're a chemist, you can go deep into it. So basically, you can just turn the pages. Okay, it's beautiful. So I suggest, and it's not too expensive. Well, it is actually. It's what did I pay for it? £7? Yeah. Yeah, $7.99. So, but they sold 85,000. But they were very lucky. They were at the Apple intro.
But I think that everybody measures the distance between the table we used to have in the classrooms 30 years ago and what is now being done for the Elements table. It's absolutely impressive.
Yeah, it's very impressive, gorgeous graphics. And they spent a lot of money on this. I talked to the publisher. I said, what's the key thing that you had to do for this? He said, I had to have a great programmer. A great programmer was essential. They took pictures of every single of these elements. But the good thing is that this is a hobbyist book, okay? So they were both chemists, and the author of the book, and Max Whitby, who's actually a very old multimedia friend of mine, ex-BBC producer of Last Chance to See and so on. So he's very, very experienced in this thing. And they own already all the elements. He and his book partner, bought all these elements and took pictures of them, and they used to provide kiosks or universities and things like that. And then they decided to make it a title. But they already had a lot of the elements that they needed to do. And this kind of hobbyist titles have to be you have to have a database of hobby, people who are following you so that you can market it to them. But because this was so beautiful, Apple also came to their help. Of course, there was a major marketing thing. And they made money for it. They started the TouchPrace publishing company because of this. Now, next ebook is an Italian developer, again, an old multimedia friend of mine, which I refound because that's the sign for me that a whole circle has come back now. With the old CD-ROM developers as well, they will get back into the action. So this is, he created the Divine Comedy of Dante in a different way. So now, this is let's just do the settings. First of all, this exists on Italian and English, so I'll do most of you are English speaking probably, so I'll show it in English, so I know what I'm doing. So here's the poem, which is sort of like, you can just jump into any chapter of it, and you can just have pictures. So it's an illustrated book, at the very least. However, you could also, actually, you can get an introduction. What this is, which is more like a CD-ROM.
The Divine Comedy tells the story of Dante's fantastic journey through hell, purgatory, and paradise, which the poet undertakes, following the instructions of his beloved Beatrice.
So this is the introduction. I want, oh, no, what did I do? Sorry. Oh. It's okay, no worries. Get back to it. These things are, the thing I love about apps is that they're very simple. They're not really that deep, so then you can get back in and out of them very quickly. But the same picture can be, he used a game engine. Look at this. I mean, Dante's hell, purgatory, and paradise. So let's look at Dante's hell. So he used virtual, let me just do this actually, purgatory. So he used game engines to really to look at these things, and then he did the paradise. He illustrated all these things, but he gave it a very game-like look for potentially younger audiences. And going back, he also illustrated it in this whole thing in pictures. And you can listen to the book, you can read the book in pictures and music. I find it beautiful. What do you guys think?
Amazing.
Well, you can disagree with me. What do you think?
There's not many, we haven't really seen people using like the ebooks as a part of a transmedia type project yet, and that would be quite interesting, where it's a part of a story that's happening elsewhere. And I think
this is not like that at all. This is just a CD-ROM.
Yeah, exactly.
On an
So
app.
it's not exciting in that sense. Like, we've seen these things before, but it's kind of versatile.
Yeah.
There's a project called Zombies, which they're crowdsourcing a zombie sort of story, and there's an iPad app for that, and that's quite interesting, where you can submit photos and you can sort of interact a bit more and create the story as well, which is quite cool.
Now, I'm going to jump into now, Charlotte, I'm going to jump into lifestyle and then come back to news and magazines, okay? So go back to the next one. Yeah. So the same developer has done also a travel. What this was more of a visual cities, visual guide of Rome, not very deep, but you can just circulate around Rome. This was for iPhone, so this is, if you like it like this and like that, so this is a case for iPad, it's just a bigger iPhone. But actually a travel title like this is much better for the iPhone than iPad, because you're carrying it on your phone, book, and you're going. So you can take a list of the books, and I just want to see Vatican. So I can go around and check it out. And if I want to see what the old Vatican was, let's just look at the map again. Hold on a second. Sorry. And if I want to see what the drawings are, the old Vatican was, I can do that. So this is a simple but interesting travel approach. Another one.
It seems it looked
Yeah.
like that app didn't actually place you
Didn't
in
do
a
anything
location.
for you? Huh?
Did it place you
No,
in your location?
very simple. No, it
That
didn't.
just seems
Old-fashioned, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So I shouldn't have shown it, actually, right? Okay. So here's the photo cookbook. Now, this is also pretty interesting. Of course, this also could have had more things to it, but I like this because, basically it's very simple. Meat, fish, vegetarian desserts. It's got lots of recipes. It's got a really interesting interface. You can just pick a dish. So let's make a dish. Which one do you like? Do you like this orange and lemon crispy lamb cutlets? Is that good?
No.
Huh? Choose. Jan.
I'd go the linguine.
Linguine. Which one is that? This one.
Perfetto.
Okay, let's do that.
Perfetto
Okay.
così.
So linguine, it serves 4 ingredients. So then you can just check what the nutrition values are. This is a German developer, I think. And then let's see. And then it shows you how you cut this, how you cut it, cut the fish, how you chop it. What I would have liked is more video, but they don't have the video. But it's very easy. And then you have the plate.
I think
pretty
this
easy.
app is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
What
it's
they've
beautiful,
done
yeah.
to take cooking and do something so stunning
I
with
know.
it that is also actually practical when you're cooking. We've got mucky fingers. It's all big. That that you can actually see what you're supposed to be doing. They've done really, really well. I think there's more elements that they should be adding in, like shopping lists and things like that.
Right.
But actually, as
Maybe there is, and
a
I don't even
visual
know.
spectacle, it's stunning.
Let's see about.
It's true that when you
It's
get
easy.
used to the iPad,
Yeah.
you always have this fingerprints problem.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
We've all got
Forget-
little cloths
Yeah.
with us. Where
yeah,
is it?
we all have tissues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's
To
my
do that.
cleaning cloth. That's just really, really dorky to
This
carry a
is,
cloth around to clean your iPad.
This is a device with order is forget the mayo. Don't touch any mayo if you want to use that.
How are we doing so far? Are you enjoying? Good. Thank you. Perfect. It's a little hot up here, but anyway, I hope it's okay where you are. All right, so we have we've been talking quite a bit, so I'm going to just move on to news, if you don't mind. Now, we have several. Now, news was one of the first things, actually, that came on iPad apps, right? Everyone did a news app. I mean, look, I have so many news apps here that some of them free and some of them paid for, like Wired, I pay. And what Wired did, that's when I knew that the circle came back. I went to South by Southwest. How many of you know that? I went to South by Southwest. It's an internet show in US. And all of a sudden, I ran into the old publishers that I knew on a line to go to the first Wired app. So Wired magazine did the first app, and I said, okay, if I'm seeing my old publishers that I used to know in Milia coming back to the circuit again, that means this is time for publishing business to start taking off. So that's a good sign. So I'm going to show you the Wired app, but first I want to start with news apps. Now, BBC News. Of course, we've got to start with the good old BBC. Now, BBC News has done a fairly good job. You know, it has the top stories, and then if you choose it, it gives you, and then it updates. You know, every day there's a new BBC News. You know, like all the news are updated. So I don't know what this live thing does. Oh, it does play it. Oh, well, why did it go back to? I don't know what it's doing there, so forget about it. I'll show you another live thing. Now, I found out from Mobile IQ, Sean Barrable, actually, he's joining us for the next case study. Apple has just reduced the amount of video that you can put on iPad because it's crashing the network, so that live news apps will suffer from this. And the other thing is, well, we'll talk about the web versus news apps scenario, the question. Let me show you this other one that I like very much, France 24. See, I did like this because it has a live news aspect to it, but it requires that you're connected. So I'm connected through the Wi-Fi here. It's a fast Wi-Fi, okay? And then I can get daily news. I had HD live player. I have latest news, business news, weather. So to get the latest news, it's coming off the air right into this. We used to talk about mobile TV here, and there you go. Mobile TV is now live. It's happening. Not even a question.
Mud leaves a path of devastation in Hungary and edges ever closer to the Danube River, raising fears for the entire region. 4 people have already died from the spill. The EU says it stands ready to help.
So you can go to business news, and you can go to weather news, and it's all live, and you can go to this, or you can go to the latest news. I really like this show. And then you also can look at there's also a way you can look at other countries. But anyway, I don't know how to find that now, but you get the idea, right? So I like this news very much. I like this application very much. Do you guys like it?
Yeah, it's much more better than using the websites in the ergonomic.
Yeah, so let's talk about the websites. I mean, I could be going and getting to the France 24 website and getting the video and getting all the news. So what's the point of doing an app?
The ergonomics, for sure.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I have some of the news apps. I don't use them a lot. I know you're going to come onto Flipboard in a sec, but I think obviously the thing is personalization is the most important thing right now, and I think apps need to really sort of get a hold of that. And this feels a bit kind of it's just regurgitating what's on the web anyway. So it's a little bit easier functionality-wise, but it's nothing new, really.
So
I think so, but also that sometimes some of these apps create offline experiences, so that if you are, I mean, iPad is not necessarily a device that people are moving about with. iPhone or a smartphone is more likely something that you're moving about with. So these apps can benefit users that way by being able to store information locally and then going in London on the tube or whatever.
Right, because you can't, local information part is
Do they have is that built into the BBC News app? Can you save offline pages and things?
I'm not sure.
No,
we'll
I don't think it is.
Right, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on, guys.
I just want to,
Ferhan, quickly.
I really think quickly that the things which are brought through the ergonomics are really key. For years, we've been considering that browsing was everything, and as a matter of fact, when you're using a touchable device and you want to only use the arrow to browse, that this is a problem.
Now, instead of looking at Wired online, I'm looking at a Wired app, which I paid for. And it updates for me every time, but I don't like a few things because I paid already like $4.49 or something 3 months ago. I just wanted to show you that, but that already went away, so I have to buy again the new one. okay? So I can't get the one that I paid for. Maybe I don't know how to do that again. Can you do that? Who is the expert? I should have had you here as an expert.
You just need to download it again.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, here's a elegant Wired app, okay, Wired magazine. So you can just you can go through the pages like that. It's very beautiful, and then you can just do that. However, you know, there's a problem I have with this. I mean, these ads. Maybe this is not the best example of an ad, but they're just not, you know, the interactive ads. There's an opportunity here.
It's a glorified PDF.
Huh?
You know, it's a glorified PDF.
I know, and I don't like that. It needs to be better than that.
Okay, go.
Yeah, there's definitely some really killer
but
adverts that have been put in there as well. I mean, you know, it's down to the advertiser to be able to provide the content they need, which is an interesting point about how.
Well, I don't know if it's down to Wired or the advertiser and how much the Wired has to push the advertiser.
Since they need to be educated, they need to understand what kind of formats or movement they can bring into the ads.
It's sort of angel of sort of cynicism here, but I mean, I'm a Wired reader. I downloaded the app. It took 6 hours for me to download the
It wasn't
single
worth
magazine,
it for me. I'm
and
sorry.
it was roughly the same price as the magazine itself. You know, I'm not sold on it as an
exactly.
alternative.
But look at this magazine. Look, I mean, this is an Architecture 29. This was one of the Apple iPad manager's favorites because he loves design. So here's an here's a, you know, I can set the soundtrack here, and then I can go to the, you know, I can look at beautiful architecture. This is a different way to do it. This is a different, you know, this adds value. I mean, the interface adds value, and there's a narration about the different architecture. So there's different magazine approaches you can have, which are better. This has about cinema. You know, they've done it several different lifestyle things. I don't have too much time to dwell on it, but you get the idea. So news and magazines are interesting, but if you don't add value, then there's no point in spending all this money and doing them just for the heck of it.
Are you going to show Flipboard?
Yes. Now, next thing is Flipboard. We can't wait to show that to you. And these guys are ready to talk about Flipboard. So Flipboard, how would you describe Flipboard?
Well, it's personalized news, and it's sort of packaged in a way that sort of in a magazine-style format. So
now,
it's relevant to you.
Yeah. What would you say about
Flipboard? Well, it uses both the kind of design ethics, so full bleed imagery, pulling out little clips from.
Right. Let me show it so that what your
traditional
comments
design
make sense. Actually, let me just show it first, and then sorry about that. Here, what I did here is Flipboard aggregates my Facebook, my Twitter. And then my chosen, like for example, if I say edit, okay, it highlights all of them. I want to add a section, and then I can just go choose my favorite magazine. Let's say that I've chosen an entertainment thing just for fun, TV guide. And then it puts the TV guide in here, okay? So it collects all my favorites, but I love most what it does with my Facebook. This is my Facebook, guys. So first of all, it shows me all the latest, you know, here's my, let me just say that again. Yeah, here's my, like, up to 3 hours ago, all my RSS feeds on the Facebook. And all of a sudden, all my Facebook buddies are, you know, it's as if they're important journalists because they've got.
Through some of the pages, have a look at the video
content. Just beautiful. I mean, you know, like this guy is Shane. This is, oh, they released them. They released them. Fantastic. Because I've been following the story of these guys. And now, oh my God, that's fantastic. Sorry, I'm getting carried away. But anyway, it's good to look at your Facebook every once in a while. Amazing. That's fantastic.
So they got also, if you click into there, you can see, you can add comments and stuff. So you can see what people are saying about.
Where do I add the comments?
So if you click into the video again.
Yeah.
And then on the right-hand side, you can see what people are retweeting.
Yeah, type your reply.
And you can share. They need to add a bit more functionality in sharing, I think. You know, there's more for them to do, but it's probably the best kind of integrated app, you know, for news and stuff I've seen.
And I think it feels it's more important on the Twitter part, where Twitter is really flat, 160 characters, and if you can show it,
unbelievable! I'm
it's
so
really
happy.
transforming it into a live magazine.
Go back to contents. Let's not get carried away with all this stuff because I got to keep track of time. See, Chucky Pasha. Here's Chucky Pasha. View profile, Chucky Pasha. That's Pasha on my Twitter feed. There we go. That's what everything he said. What did he say? On stage with Chucky Fasha and Efergan, Patrice to talk iPads at MIPCOM. There you go.
Great.
All right. So I love this Flipboard. And now you were saying something.
Sorry.
Now you can please
I think
say.
I was just going to say, the comment earlier about is it just a giant iPhone? I think one of the key things you've got to think about the iPad is the space it's trying to enter, which is this digital paper. And it's this idea of publishing, and it's replacing the magazine and the thing that you sit on your couch
A
and you
new
read.
desktop publishing 3.0 kind of
Exactly.
thing.
More so than the CD-ROM kind of replacement. You know, the most exciting stuff, I mean, alongside the stuff that it's already doing, like a giant iPhone, so the located media, alongside the fact it's a good games platform, one of the key things that makes it very important is this idea of publishing. And I just think that app beautifully blends all of those rules of publishing alongside a lot of the exciting things about the interactivity it can provide.
Very quickly, okay. Now, the next one we're going to show is actually Patrice from Orange France Télécom will show. 2424 Actu. What is Actu?
Yeah, 2424 Actu is a service which is about aggregating the media. And just because we are among friends, I can show you this. Because I'm not supposed, since the app is not yet validated, but don't say it. So in that, this is what I was discussing before. We've taken the idea of bringing a specific ergonomic to an existing service. For instance, it's a news aggregator, so if I'm clicking one of the top 15 headlines, I will just go into the different audio, video, and text reviews that have been done, and it's playing. For instance, if I'm clicking on France 2, French television channel news, it will point out directly at the minute where the topic is being discussed in the press. So the important thing about that was to be able to bring all the different pieces, even with a partner bar here, in order to get this kind of new ergonomics specific to the iPad.
So you have partnership. Keep your hand off the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's always
so you have
difficult
partnership with a lot of different publishers,
Yes.
radio, TV.
TVs and online press, and we have
Well, I'm dying to ask, what's the business model for that, aren't you?
sharing the value.
Of how do you share the value when you? Is
There
it
will
a free app?
No, it's free on this one, and so we'll have some advertising in that, and we are definitely working on the different.
Advertising. So you're working the business model out right now.
Yeah.
But it's a rev share business model, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Is that all?
I can be back on my favorite one at this time, which is how many fingers can you put on the screen to do this kind of.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's
Look
completely unuseful, but purely essential.
It's the greatest stoner app.
Yeah. Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go to the next one again. All right, are we moving too fast or are we okay still? Huh? What is that app called? The one with the finger?
Line art.
Line art, fantastic one.
And this one is validated, I can show it. And it's not mine.
Okay, so now we've done all of that. Where are we? Oh, games. Games. We're in games. Okay, well, I'm not a gamer, okay?
This is really what it's all about.
This is really what it's all about. And I'm not a gamer, but iPad makes me into a gamer. And that's what... Huh?
I like games.
I like games.
Okay.
Just checking.
Okay, so here's my favorite, when I go to a pub, and it's sort of an old bar in France or something. It doesn't exist in all the pubs anymore there. So here's a, ignore. Here's a pinball. Do you like pinball?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I don't know how I'm going to do this without being so much with my
take
friend.
and release.
Okay. I've been playing this for a long time. I just want to make sure that I don't want to... Look how well...
Beware of the tilt.
Huh? It's brilliant because it also tells me how I rank with the rest of the people and what happens when you shake it.
It's tilting.
Does it
Yeah.
cancel you out?
All right, let's do it. Let's do that.
If you're doing like that.
It goes like that as well. Okay. The thing is, I'm trying to make sure that I don't block this thing with my hands, so I'm a little limited, but it's just I played this for hours. Again, I played this all summer, knowing I was going to do this showcase, and my son downloaded it, and I said, oh, great, Okay.
Don't get carried away.
Don't get carried away. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
You're welcome.
So this is, now I didn't show you everything. What you can do with that is that you can upload, you can save your game, it uploads, and then you can show your world ranking. I had 1.2 million pounds and points, and I thought I was in Worlds 15, and it was just like, I don't know, 355th, and somebody indicated to me that I was looking at the wrong thing. So I wasn't good at it, but Next one. Now this is an amazing thing, so simple, but it's called Angry Birds. It's Daniel's favorite. How many people know how to play that? Oh my goodness, everybody plays. Okay, let's play, guys. It's gonna be simple, but so you have all these games, okay? This is a Finnish developer. They sold 6.5 million of these at something like $1.19. So $6 million. There you go. Okay. Now what they're doing is they're trying to do an animation out of it and TV property out of it, and they're going from iPad app, iPhone app to iPad app to TV animation, TV game, and all of this. So it's really interesting, a cross-media application as well. But let's play. So I'm just taking you to the second one, let's say, because I already spent the first one. So the object is basically to do this, and then to shoot, and then to get points. Can you see it? Okay. I'm getting good at it, and then I pass.
Excellent.
You've played this before.
I've been playing since Andrew Stawbold, a bowl of Fox, showed me this. Thanks, Andrew, if you're listening anywhere, somewhere. And then this one.
Can I put forward a question?
Yes, while I'm playing, of course.
To the panel, really, which is, I'm still looking at the iPad and considering really how different is it as a gaming platform to the iPhone. And I haven't quite worked out. None of the games have really seemed to transfer or change too much when they've translated themselves from the iPhone to the iPad, apart from better visuals and therefore more screen space, which is key to the game.
I think you're right, though.
I still haven't scored, though. Okay, well, I can play with this forever. Sorry, you're interrupting my game.
I apologize.
She's playing. Not too loud, she's playing.
Never mind. Go ahead. Tell me what you...
I suppose the key question would then be, is there an example of a game that wouldn't work on the iPhone that does on the iPad?
Yeah.
Please.
I was hoping someone else would. When that first came out, they talked about board games, family, like having multiple players.
Which is now, I was going to come to that,
Sorry. Board games and like Monopoly or Cluedo or something like that, and having more than one player.
So they now have that.
And moving the iPad around, yeah?
Well, okay, there is Scrabble, which is actually played with both multiplayer, iPhone and iPod as the board, as the tile board, and your iPad tile rack, yeah. And this is also a multiplayer game. This is a very interesting one. Fruit Ninja.
It's pretty simple.
This is you can go nuts with this, right?
Fun. Come out of that. Go into the multiplayer version.
How do you do that?
Just come back out.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Go back into here, maybe.
Quit bottom right hand corner.
Anyway, I don't want to waste.
There we go.
I knew how to do that, but guys, okay, quit, and then.
So if you go into
multiplayer.
This is it. This is really cool. And then see, you have
to play two-player against.
And then you can also choose your.
You can't really do on the iPhone too well.
Yeah, I think this is a really good example. Particularly, there's something
I'm
about the interaction as well. On the iPhone, you never quite get the ninja satisfaction.
You can play fast
without kind of doing that, which works with an iPad.
You can play fast, and then how do you choose your ninja sword? Yes. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
So you have to play two-player. You both.
Anyway, I'm going nuts with this, but I'm going to learn this more. So done.
Yeah.
I wouldn't underestimate the value of HD graphics. I know that I play Words with Friends, quite addicted to it. All of our officers are addicted to it. Everyone goes on holiday. They all play people in the office. It's quite antisocial. But the iPhone version is actually quite hard to use. Words with Friends is sort of like Scrabble, but not Scrabble. And it's quite hard to use. But the HD version on an iPad is just beautiful. So I think that the high-end graphics are worth the extra price.
So this is adding value, right?
Yeah.
And the
I
other
find
one,
it's a lot easier to watch TV and play the iPad rather than the iPhone.
Yeah.
It hurts your eyes a bit
fantastic.
too much.
Yeah, iPad is a much more of a
Multitasking.
laid back experience, I'm finding.
Yeah.
It's like entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, it's new entertainment. I don't know. I mean, you know, I love this device. Right. So the next one, we're moving into the hobbyist special interest. Unfortunately, I'm only going to show you one thing from here, but these are all the list of things like Star Walk is fabulous. I'm going to show you that. Pianist Pro. A lot of these things are for specialist people who know how to do something. Like I'm not a pianist, so I would be a lousy demonstrator of this Pianist Pro because it's for real professional musicians. I haven't even downloaded. Oh, should have known, Daniel. Next time. Okay, and then brushes is an artistic thing where you can actually paint beautiful pictures with brushes.
I was at an event the other day where Stephen Fry was speaking, and he talked about David Hockney. I don't know if people know the British artist David Hockney. David Hockney is 80 years old, is using brushes to create artworks every day, and the stuff that he's doing is, Stephen Fry was saying, so I'll name drop him, was saying it's absolutely stunning. I was so impressed, and he was saying, you know, that David Hockney was finding using his finger on a screen was just as more creative and more intuitive than using sable on canvas.
So here's the brushes in Apple Store. It's $4.99 a pound. Okay, so you can have, here are some of the, hold on a second. I know you're not going to cheat me on this. So here, like, it shows how you paint really beautiful stuff. And look, but you got to be a really nice artist to do that. And then the thing is, you can go to the store. It's so easy to buy this stuff. You just buy it. There's the business model. So
now you can use her account.
And then you can go to the top charts. You can go to the top paid apps charts. Look, Angry Birds is the top charts. Let's just show that, okay?
Ferhan,
yeah?
I think I've received a message from your bank saying you've just bought a $1 million app.
I trust these guys. They won't do that for me. They don't do that to me. Look, Starbucks. Okay, we're going to go to Starbucks now. Starbucks is one of the top 5. So if you go to Apple's App Store, you have the top paid apps and you have the top free apps. And then you see how you're doing. But we're going to talk a lot about how to kind of get there and how to be featured and how to make, it's so critical. Discovery is so critical. So
I think just to reiterate that, it's been said for quite a while, but just to make sure, it is the top 100 is the golden number. By falling within the top 100, then that seems to be
what do you mean top 100?
Any top 100 of a category.
Right, is good.
That seems to be the key number that every developer talks about, because once you hit that point, you can be found and reiterated and appear at the top quite quickly.
Now, this Star Walk is one of the ones that Michael Chow, my friend Michael Chow, who's now running iPad at Apple, gave me as a favorite. And I like it very much. I'm not an astronomer and I'm not an astrology buff, but for those people and for learning, it's just beautiful. And also like elements, I showed, but this is even more interesting. So basically, there's a tab here. You can put your location, okay? So we're in conference, okay, that's good. So then, you can choose your location anywhere else you want. Okay, we've done that. So let's just go back. And then we're in Cannes. So in Cannes, this basically shows things in the sky. Okay, so you can just look around the sky. And it says where to go. Perseus is in the north. And you can also do this, but it's kind of hard to demonstrate with the video because you can also do this. You can tilt your screen. I don't want to give you nausea.
Yeah, it's an augmented reality for stars.
It's augmented, and you can see where the sun is and Mars is, and then you can take the picture of the day. You can share it with somebody, and then you can just look at all the pictures. You can Facebook it. You can Twitter it. It's really beautiful. So of course people are worried. Okay, if I put all my very high quality pictures in here, is it going to be shared? But there are ways to share lower quality versions or not share if it's copyrighted. So there's all these, programming tricks that you can do. The key thing, don't forget, you have to have a really good programmer. Because also Apple we're talking Apple Store now. Apple really picks very high quality apps, and they feature that. So if you want to be marketed, don't do a crappy app. Do a good one. You know, get an innovative. I mean, just don't. It's not even worth it because there's so many apps out there, right? How many Apple apps are there? So you have to make sure you're adding value. That's my message. I don't know what this one. Oh, it tells you what day it is, and then you just kind of go up and down. Really beautiful.
It's only the start. I don't know who said that, but I think it's really true that it was something like 9 a.m. in the morning in the augmented reality industry. So it's just probably one of the things that many developers would be keen on doing in the following years.
Yeah. Yeah, so augmented reality, I mean, there are a lot of new features that these tablets are going to give us. Touch is one of the big things, obviously, right? And augmented reality or tilt and sharing is a big thing. You know, if you're sharing, then you're making. Now this one, this Glee, is a top rating TV show in the United States by Fox News, Fox Studios. So the app is called Glee, and the show is Glee. Now, Glee is basically a glorified karaoke. Can you go to the entertainment slide? Yeah, TV film apps, the one before. Yeah, there we go. So, and there's a company who's very innovative, Smule, who did how many of you heard the Ocarina app? Yeah, very few of you, but Ocarina is a beautiful app that you can play flute into your iPhone, and you can play flute with the world, and it shows you where in the world you're playing flute with. It's just beautiful. So the same company, Smule, has done this Fox app. And I'm going to show it to you. It's a sing-along with the cast of Glee. So these are all the Glee cast people, which I don't watch this show because it's below my age range, I think. But now this is going to be like funny. Okay, so we're going to sing. Now, here's the thing. You can have a tutorial song. We're going to do the tutorial. But I can go to my iTunes and pick any of my songs. Like you can see my age, right? Bésame mucho. I mean, I have those things. We're like, come on, give me a break. But anyway.
I have it also, Bésame mucho.
Now, here's another biz model because you can download this for free, but then for each of the season 1 song, season 2 song, you can buy each of these songs for 99 cents each. So I bought a song. Andrew Staubald made me buy this Bad Romance. There's no way I can sing to it, but I wasted my 90 cents on that one because I could have stayed in the Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
I have to say that at the rehearsal you were singing.
Right. So shall we all sing together? Does anybody, wait. Before I do that, does anybody want to sing? Wow.
It's not going to get that complicated.
Can I have this? Can I have the
sound?
Right. Now we're going to sing together in the next one. Now it pitch corrects. Okay, watch here. Pitch corrects and harmony. But I found that when it pitch corrects my voice, it's no good. So I'm just going to stop it. And then if I sing well, it gives me stars. So, okay, I'm singing now. Don't make fun of me. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Save. Done.
If you need us.
Woohoo! Now, look how many starbursts I got. I got 773 starbursts. It says good singing. There you go.
Are you available on weddings, bar mitzvahs?
So now I can play my song. If I like it, I can broadcast it.
We haven't done the first one.
Yeah, we're talking and it's recording, so sorry about that. I don't know if I can move it. Yeah, I can move it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm singing now. Don't make fun of me.
Big sound.
It's really slow and out of key. I will be very embarrassed to share this with the world. Okay, but this guy is cute.
We have to come back for the middle.
Right. So I can broadcast this, and it just broadcasts my performance onto the world, but I'm not going to take time with that. So, you know, and I don't want to. So the world is very cool. So you can see who's singing in the world and who's sharing in the world. You can go in and out.
Can you go in Cannes?
And then you can just listen. I don't know. You can listen to the songs and then you can join and sing with them. Okay? You know, I'm really relieved because they're worse than me. And here, like, you can put a note in here. This is really bad. This is bad.
I think it's
Woo-hoo.
like
This is really bad. Done. Okay, sorry.
Poor girl's gonna get a compliment.
I think
So
it's some
you
of
can
the
share.
cats
You
singing
can
heavy
share this
metal.
performance. No, thank you. Then you can go to the play recordings. I mean, you can just play all your recordings, and then you can go back, and you can also win songs by making levels. Look, I got 24,000 starbursts, and then when I put my recordings on the Facebook, sharing is a big thing here. But Fox told me that the way this app is marketed is that I share it with my 550 friends on Facebook, and you share it with your 1,000 friends, and then because they know Ferhan or Pasa, they'll listen to their bad voice, and then they'll share it with the rest of their friends, and then people will go and download Glee, and then they'll start buying Glee songs. That's the assumption, right? So that's the business model. That's pretty good. I think that I've done it. 3 minutes. We have. Wow, it's not bad. It's not bad. We're doing well. So there's a few other things. I mean, there's a few other things. Oh, I just want to show you one last thing, which is where did I put that? AppStream. Yeah. So if you don't know what apps to buy, obviously discovery of apps is a very key point. And this AppsFire is a very interesting new thing that came out. It's about discovering new apps that you might like. So, you know, like it's got my Toy Story here, and then you could put stars on the apps that you like, and then you could put information. I don't know what this one does. It tells you what other things that you can buy. So it gives you an interesting accumulation of apps based on what you have bought already, and then it's a discovery tool. So there's going to be more and more things like this that let you discover. And then it has a meter in it, you know, good meter or bad meter or whatever. I don't know who judges that. I guess the company does. And it goes to the App Store and allows you to buy it. So anyway, this is a bad screen, so I kill it. All right, so this is basically what we've selected for you.
Are you going to mention MISO as well?
Oh, yeah.
I just think that's really
So so Pasha, why don't you come here since we have a couple of minutes and show us MISO, because the aggregators are now going into social TV. It's not an aggregator, actually. It's more of a social TV app, right? What's social TV?
What is social TV?
Did you put this on?
It's kind of combining all of the social integration and interactions that we've been creating online with the TV experience. I think that Patrice is going to talk about the app.
So what's coming? What's Foursquare?
Just before I come onto that, I've got the Wired app here because I wanted to show like an interactive advert on there.
Oh, show. Okay, great.
So this is
show us that.
You get to this page and it says, "Can I touch it?" And then it sort of says you need to twist the device, and when you do, it comes up with a different. Yes, you can, and it does something. It's really basic, but it's a level of engagement that a brand can have with the consumer that you can't get on other devices. And I think, again, it's kind of like, this is super basic, but it's the start of these things.
Yeah, so, you found the Heineken ad, fantastic.
Yeah.
So tell us. Show us.
Well, I can just probably show you. There's like a couple of things that, like, this is a good example of just really, nice sort of interactive article. So it's asking to fill in the words, and then you can, if you don't know what the solution is, you can kind of, you can press these buttons and it helps you out, basically.
See, that's great because it's an interactive ad. It's much better than just a picture.
Yeah, and then, these adverts here, like Pepsi and stuff, have got video content within the advert, which is quite cool.
And you've also therefore got to remember that adverts of that quality and engagement equal a lot more money for the publisher.
Absolutely.
I would assume that's the case.
Not only the publisher, but Heineken. So therefore, they'll get more ads in Wired iPad apps.
Yeah, but so that's kind of why. But I'll just, there's a couple of things happening with this sort of social viewing. Obviously, a lot of you guys know about Foursquare and
How many people know about Foursquare?
Yeah.
How many people checked in here?
Foursquare is a location game, right?
Yeah.
It tells you, because mobile is a device that lets you tell people what your location is. Based on that, you can play a game. I'm here, I'm there, I'm the king of Paris, I'm the mayor of Paris, whatever. So now, it's a Foursquare for TV apps.
There's quite a few people who are sort of entering the space of like, how do you check into TV shows or magazines and films and all sorts of things. And Miso is a Google venture-backed company based out in the States, and they've got one where it's quite nicely sort of graphically represented. So, you know, you're sitting there and you can search for TV shows, but if you're watching Glee, you sort of click in, it tells you who else is watching it at the moment, so it has a kind of nice discovery way of sort of socially interacting with other people who are into the same content. And obviously, a bit like Foursquare, you can check in, you can pick specific episodes, and you earn points for checking into that show. And then you can earn badges based on checking in more regularly into that types of.
Do you think this kind of apps will make people go to watch TV more?
I don't know. I think it's about, you know, these apps which are incentivized through sort of earning badges and things. It's about braggability, and you know, it's about sort of letting people know that you're a fan of something, which is kind of what we've been doing, you know, for years anyway. But it's just a really nice, easy way of sharing it. And I think, you know, people are using these devices much more while sitting in front of TV shows, and people do talk about TV shows a lot. If you saw the Facebook keynote earlier yesterday, you know, I think there was a ridiculous amount of mentions for X Factor even before the show aired. You know, and it's kind of that connection, I think, is getting stronger. And obviously, these things will probably evolve into becoming part of the EPG. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when you're switching on your TV, you're able to check in, you get points, you earn badges. And the thing that Miso are doing is they're partnering with content providers, producers and broadcasters, so they can provide exclusive content to people who are super fans, essentially. And this provides a massive, great marketing platform for broadcasters and producers who want to extend their brand.
Does Miso cost anything?
No, it's a free app.
And how do they make money?
Well, I think probably they're not.
Ad sharing by the.
Thinking about this.
Yeah, they're thinking about it. I think they're
who
probably
makes
not.
Miso? Who makes Miso? It's an American company.
New York company.
Yeah, it's a new company. Yeah,
right.
just
Okay.
But you can join the dots between the Google TV announcements of recent time, the fact that they're saying that your phone is going to control your TV, and then a Google-backed company like that with the EPG system,
sort of natural.
And you can see how that kind of sphere is all joining together.
And you have another one?
And another, Get Glue is another one. You know, like I said, there's quite a few people sort of entering the space, and you know, you can check in here to games, books, magazines, movies, like wine. You can see down there celebrities. Same sort of thing, earn badges and stickers. Again, it's kind of bragging rights to be able to show to your sort of friends and stuff.
Okay.
Just to kind of finalise that bit, it's never underestimate the power of gaming mechanics for any age. I think gaming mechanics have always been underestimated for adults, and things like this are just proving that everyone loves playing stuff. And now it's got to the point where you're getting badges just for doing normal things in your life, but it does make you do them more.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I think that, yeah.
And I was just going to say that someone wanted to ask a question.
Yeah. You first.
Do you think Facebook's going to do something? This is really doing media checking differently. Do you think Facebook's going to take something?
Yeah, so the question, I'll repeat the question, is Facebook going to sort of do media check-ins? I think they possibly will. I think Places is still really early days for them at the moment, so it's only just launched, but I think they want to probably go in that direction, and they certainly did allude to it yesterday. I know they want to get closer to media and sort of that kind of interactions.
The most important thing, I think, for the audience here, especially in the MIP, is to understand that it's really about proximity and link into the social media space of the programs themselves. And you see what has been happening with the brands, which are all present in the social media, Facebook, etc. They have their pages, they have their fans, etc. It's exactly the same for the TV programs. And with the idea that you can be the mayor of Glee or anything, you can push people to a kind of mechanism which were existing before with you can be featured on TV. Okay. And it's a strong push.
So sharing and social TV is a new genre. I must say, let me just stop this for a second because I didn't want to cut you out, but let me just do this for a minute. I just wanted to tell you that I didn't like that Get Glue thing because it just seemed too dull.
Yeah, but
it's not an entertainment ad.
But the entertainment comes in the connection with other people, so it's seeing what other people are using.
So you think that young people won't care about it too much?
Say again?
That young people won't care about the look and feel of it. They'll care much more about the functionality of it.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's, you know, to be
There's a
seen,
question over there. I
guess.
want to show you this Epic Citadel, which is this amazing tool, but go ahead.
Hello? Yeah, I was just curious about whether any of these, you feel any of these apps actually stand a chance against Twitter and Facebook? I mean, people have so much emotional investment in Facebook, for instance. It's difficult for anybody to community build outside of those ecospheres.
I mean, all of these apps integrate into Twitter and Facebook, so, and they have to, you're right. And, you know, it's a turf war. I mean, Foursquare's doing it in the sort of location space, and they may not even survive, and they're doing very well already. But, yeah, I mean, one of these guys will come through. And I know that some of the broadcasters are getting into this space, but that's definitely not going to work, right? Because it's only against their single channel. So probably one of these outside guys have got a better chance.
And the history of social networks is that I think that in June 2006, nobody would have bet a penny on Facebook versus MySpace. So.
I think the other thing that's interesting to us, to Channel 4 anyway, is the difference between superfans who may use some of these types of things because they're so passionate about their TV shows, and also people who are light users or light viewers of certain programs who may only just interact on Facebook or Twitter. Yeah. You know, the conversation that's going on nightly on Twitter about our shows are largely a lot of people who are light viewers. You know, they wouldn't count themselves as super fans. So it's seeing different types of audiences who use different type of mechanisms rather than, you know, this is all the big killer that's going to win. You know, it's depending on which type of audience you're talking about.
Well, I just want to make one point. Jen Topping, Channel 4, was going to be part of this session doing a case study on Channel 4, but we moved her to the next session because Anna Rafferty unfortunately had a emergency and she couldn't come from Penguin. So Jen kindly agreed to do her case study on the next session. So what we'll do is we have 8 more minutes. I'll just show you one other like technology thing, which is really interesting, and then we'll open up to more questions. But if you're staying with us, we're going to go straight into the case study. So when we finish this discussion, stay with us, take a deep breath, sit down, and then we'll start right back because the case studies will start. Okay? So I just want to show you this.
And we have to vote for the best
application. Yeah, you don't forget. Who do you like most? But this is a gorgeous, like game, this is a navigation, 3D navigation and touchscreen game control like technology. So you can swipe things and to go, and then you can tap to a place and go. Wherever you tap, it takes you there. Do you see these little things? Because these things, allow you to move around. And this one allows you to move up and down. So this is a technology based on a game engine that is provided to publishers to incorporate into their apps. So all I'm saying is that iPad is not just a bigger iPhone. iPad is a new medium.
Although
very exciting.
That runs on the new iPhone as well.
Does it?
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean,
it's
but
stunningly
iPad has
beautiful.
an incredible screen that you can do so much more with it on the iPad.
You can run it on the iPhone, but you can't really see what's going on.
Yeah,
So
I'm not against iPhone. I'm just saying that iPad should be much more than that. No? Do you guys agree with me? Okay. Right. So I'm just going to stop it right here. Now, what we should do is open it up to more questions. Firstly, which one did you like? Top app. Miso. Wow. Okay, I'm glad we showed it.
I think we have the Miso CEO.
How many people like Star Walk? Among the kids apps, what did you like the most? Did you like Toy Story?
Tom.
Huh?
Tom.
Did you like Tom the cat? Yeah.
Flipboard.
That's nice. So, the more do you like the cake making thing? The more interactive, the better it is. Well, you're too old for it. That's why you don't like it that much. On top of that, you're a male.
This is your audience.
You're not a mother. He says to me that I'm just too friendly with you, but I should be more professional. Okay. Anyway, I've had fun doing this panel, as you can see. I just want the panelists, the expert panel, to maybe make a very short one-sentence conclusions about where this medium is going to go. How will the next coming tablets, are they going to add new features, or is it just going to be like iPad? And what should broadcasters and producers think about for the next 6 months? One sentence.
All of that in one sentence.
Pick and choose your question, Daniel.
Okay, well, just so to update people on the kind of upcoming tablets, I think Google and Android, they've really done something very powerful. Speaking the underlying kind of conversations with developers, they're very, very excited by Android. And I think the next year will show
we will have an Android showcase
of iPad being the dominant force.
Right.
My bit would be taking inspiration from some of the beautiful stuff that's being done out there by publishers and games developers and things like that, and looking what we can do with program brands and TV shows that audiences feel a huge amount of love and passion for, and how we can do stuff, we being the wider production sector and wider broadcasting sector, we can do stuff that is excellent and executed incredibly well to compete with other publishers and other games makers.
I guess for me, the tablet devices are, and we didn't really cover a lot of that today, but the productivity side of it
soon.
Is really up and coming, and it's kind of it's using these devices to make things, and I think that's where it gets really interesting because it's relatively cheap as a visual controller.
You think it's a PC killer, laptop killer?
It's a laptop killer.
How many people believe that? Is iPad a laptop killer? 30%. No, I don't agree either, actually.
No, the tablet will wipe out the laptop.
But
there's no doubt about that.
Tablet will wipe out
absolutely,
PC?
Absolutely.
When? How long?
Put a bet on that.
Within the next 5 years, definitely. Yeah.
5 years?
I'll bet you a tenner, but that's not true.
No, the laptop killed the PC, and the tablet's going to do it to the laptop.
I would say when we come back next year, I don't know, random number plucked out of the air, 50% of all the stands will be using iPads to show their work rather than laptops. So at least in those kind of situations.
True, when you're traveling, it's much lighter, and you can put your PowerPoint on there, and I have my PowerPoint. Actually, well, anyway, I won't show you. There's a bookshelf app in there. You could just email yourself and download it as a PDF and put it on the bookshelf, and then you could just show it. Real estate, all kinds of stuff.
But I think when you see the visual controllers that DJs are using these things for now as well, and they're like £1,000 cheaper than the normal DJ visual controllers, and it just makes everything so much more easier to get hold of, and it's multi-purpose. And when people start editing on this and using it as a vision mixer, it'll revolutionize the broadcasting industry again, and that's the exciting stuff to come.
I think, can I just add one more thing, and it's also about accessibility. So people with motor issues or sight or any type of issue that they have, which using a normal laptop is really, really difficult for them, and incredibly expensive software. There's really cheap software you can put on an iPad, and people with disabilities are able to use it. It's amazing.
Right.
There's a great YouTube video.
Which one?
Well, have a search for it, and there's a 91-year-old lady, I think she is, who hasn't read for 20 years or something. And they buy her an iPad, and it just changes her life. And check it out.
What do you guys think about reading on iPad? Reading on iPad as opposed to a Kindle.
I surprisingly really started reading it a lot quicker than I thought I would. I moved into a new house recently, and I love books. I love paper. I've been carrying around a library since I was a young boy. But on the 4th floor, when I was carrying my 10th or 11th box of books, it did kind of hit me. This is a little silly. Like pulping books, warehouses full of stuff people aren't reading. It does seem ridiculous. But even with that in my mind, I thought, no, I won't read it that quickly. Within 2 or 3 days, I found myself going to bed, lying back, and reading on it. It's not perfect, but it's very early days. The e-readers are a lot better, they're the digital link.
On this particular topic, I'm a paper guy, so I think that also because I'm falling asleep while reading, I think that I won't do that.
What's your overall general comment about future apps?
I think that next 2 years are the years where we may see some people forgetting that it needs a specific space in the market, not as a PC, not as a big iPhone. Something brand new, but to do this, it deserves decent applications that are definitely taking advantage of the form factor.
So don't just make a website app into an iPad, right? Because you can always sign on to. Web is perfect on iPad, on iPhone and iPad.
Yeah, if you forget some compatibility
that's
issues.
true, okay. But it's not just not worth the money to do a whole app if you can do it on the web.
Yeah, this is why apps are important.
If you can interact with it and engage people with it,
and if you want to charge people for it.
If you can charge people for it, if you want to extend your show and charge people and keep the audiences sticky, then it sounds like it's perfect. But make sure you're adding value, right? So what we're going to do now is this session is now our time shows 0, so we're done. But 10 minutes, if you're staying with us, take a deep breath and do that. And then we're going to come back, and the 4 case studies. Now, we threw a lot of stuff at you, but now we're going to look at, okay, how are the relationships changing? What's the publisher's, what's the broadcaster/publisher's perspective? Then, what's the developer's perspective? Different multiple platforms, and then how do you do licenses? And what's an app store? And how do you market your stuff on the app store? So we're going to expand a little bit the umbrella and do smartphone and tablet case studies in the next 10 minutes. Stay with us, and you've been a wonderful audience, and please forgive me if I've been a little too jovial with you, but I thank my colleagues here because they've done a great job. I thank my partner here, he's done a great job. Thank you very much.